Good afternoon and welcome to Nora's Dog Training Company. We're here today with Lorca and Brandy, and what we're going to be demonstrating for you today on video is your puppy's ability to understand and respond to his formal on-leash obedience commands. The little tiny corrections and a little bit of motivation that we give the puppies when we're working with them, and the training equipment that we're using. Brandy is using a regular 6-foot web training leash, and she keeps the bulk of the leash folded neatly in her right hand. That leaves her left hand free to give any little correction that's needed, and the only correction that we give is a tiny little tug and release on the training collar. And that is the second piece of equipment that we're using. You're going to be introduced to your training equipment and taught how to use that properly during your follow-up training session. Now Lorca is sitting very nicely at Brandy's left, which is where all of our obedience training is done. And the first exercise that we're going to demonstrate for you is heeling. The command is Lorca heel, and at this point Lorca has a job to do, and that is to maintain pace with you when you're walking him, not forging ahead or lagging behind, not spinning in circles, not picking stuff off the ground. And if you notice, each time that Brandy stops her feet, he's been taught to sit automatically without being told to wait for his next command. So when you're walking with him and you stop to cross traffic or talk to a neighbor, he should sit automatically without being told. If he does not, you say no, sit, and you wait until he's seated before you move on to your next command. So this is teaching him self-control, focus, maturity, all of which these Pomskys lack. I mean, they're just jitterbugs. They're like full of energy, just crazy little dogs. Adorable, but challenging. Now the next command that Brandy's going to demonstrate is the sit-stay. The stay is a hand and a voice command, and because it is a stationary exercise, it is a one-word command. The long sit-stay helps to develop also self-control and maturity. And you want to start out at about 15 to 30 seconds and slowly work up like 5 seconds a day. When Brandy returns back to him, she walks all the way around him, back to where they started at heel position, and he remains seated until she got all the way back to where they started. And he's walking along nicely. He's looking up at her. This is really good for Lorca. Nice automatic sit. She leaves him in another stay. If he goes to get up, you saw her pull straight up on that leash with that little correction that we were talking about. And this time, instead of her returning back to him, she's going to demonstrate his come on command. It's Lorca come, he comes in and he sits. He likes to spin around and sit on your feet, but he's consistently coming when called, and that's the most important thing. And you don't want to praise him for coming until he's sitting, because we're teaching him to get praised. You have to be under control. You can't be climbing up my leg, you have to be sitting nicely. And Brandy will demonstrate that come on command again for you. So with him seated, you leave him in a stay, and we can show you all different ways of practicing your come on command. Brandy's going to use his name and a happy voice, and she calls him in. If he goes to jump, you saw her pull her legs away and make him sit. Then they go back to heeling. And of course it's windy this afternoon, so every leaf that falls out of a tree is a distraction. That's the other thing. If you control the dog's head, you control the whole dog. So you want to keep that head up off the ground and keep him focused on you when you're working with him, not on everything that's going on around him. Now the next command that we're going to demonstrate for you is the down from a heel position. So with him seated at your left, you take your left open palm, push it straight down toward the ground, and give the one-word command to down and stay. Now your long down stay is best practiced in the house, You're going to start out again at about 20 to 30 seconds, and you're going to work slowly up, and that's a 5-minute regulation long down stay. When Brandy returns back to him, she walks all the way around him, returning back to where they started, and then she heels him right out of that. And believe me, we've raked this yard. We've done everything to keep the distractions at a minimum, but a leaf, a twig, a stone, anything is a distraction for Lorca, and that's the breed standard, basically, is they have no attention span. And this time, instead of returning back to him, Brandy will call him out of that. She reels him right in like a little fish, and he comes in and sits. Now, he's come a really, really long way. He's going potty on the leash. He's also using his pad. He's really, really done a good job. I know you're anxious to get him home. Now, the very last command that we're going to demonstrate is the down from a distance. So Brandy's going to leave him in a sit-stay. She's going to turn to face him. She's going to use her right hand to give the command and drop him into a down from a distance, and then leave him in a stay. So we have fallen in love with your boy. He's absolutely adorable. He's come a long way. Practice with your video. Keep us posted on your progress. And we want to thank you for choosing Nora's Dog Training Company. We will see you soon.